Number two, we used to think that we're masters of our destinies and rulers of the earth, but your vision is quite different. So who is the great puppet master? Well, one expression of it, as I've just said, is what we are being asked to call artificial intelligence. But to put it in a greater perspective, people talk about extraterrestrials and aliens. And of course, I'm well known for saying that human society is being manipulated by a non-human force. But ultimately, it's not the vehicle, whether it's a reptilian vehicle or one of the greys in alien lore, folklore, or whether it's human. It's the consciousness, the state of consciousness that dictates behavior. So what we're looking at in the end, the great puppet master, as the question says, is actually a state of awareness, a very inverted, distorted, psychopathic state of awareness. And these, what we call bodies, whether it's a human body or a reptilian alien body or a grey alien body or all these other expressions of non-human races, the body is less important than the consciousness that dictates its behavior and perceptions. So if you look at the human race, you can see the entire spectrum from goodness, benevolence, joy, happiness, compassion, empathy, right across to the other end of the spectrum, which is the psychopath. The psychopath which has no empathy, no compassion, no sense of decency, no sense of having a problem with harming others. And it's this psychopathic state of awareness that is ultimately the great puppet master. In its prime form, it's just a state of awareness. It has no form. It's just a state of awareness, like ultimately we all are, just a state of awareness, one with different points of attention within one infinite awareness. But it takes expression through what are called extraterrestrial groups or races. One prominent one takes a reptilian form. The greys are involved in that as well. But they're only one level of the control system. The real origin of the control system is this distorted psychopathic state of awareness. And it also comes into human form, which is why we have human psychopaths, well actually human hybrid, human reptilian hybrid psychopaths running the world, controlling the corporations, controlling the banking system, which is a psychopath's dream world, the banking system. When you see the death, destruction you can wreak with that, and has been wreaked with that, and is wreaked with that every day. It's this psychopathic state of awareness that runs the global military, which is why they can drop endless bombs on the innocent and call it fighting for freedom. It's why they can raise places like Mosul and Raqqa in Iraq and Syria and have no emotional consequence for that, for the thousands and thousands of dead bodies strewn across those cities. Because When you are in a psychopathic state of being, you have no empathy. Empathy is to put yourself in the feelings of others that you affect. When you have no empathy, there is no emotional consequence for what you do because you do not have that empathetic connection. Thus, there is no emotional consequence for you. These people are so psychopathic that not only do they not have a consequence emotionally for what they do and the death, destruction, and mayhem and suffering they cause, they get off on it. They think it's funny. They enjoy it. And this awareness, this psychopathic distortion has, through its various expressions, created the equivalent of a spider's web in which humanity is caught. At the center of the web is the spider. Ultimately, that is this state of awareness, this psychopathic state of awareness in its purely awareness form. And then around the spider, you have the strands of the web that are the most exclusive. In there, in that hidden area at the center of the web, you also have, deep in the hidden, the non-human expressions of this state of awareness, which take a reptilian form and the greys and etc. And then you hit the strands in the web around the spider, which are still in the hidden, but are now coming into the human world. These are the most exclusive secret societies that only the absolute chosen few are allowed in or allowed any knowledge of. As you come out from the spider out into the wider web, you then come across the secret societies that we do know of. We don't know what they do, but we do know of them. The Freemasons, the Knights of Malta, the Knights Templar, Opus Dei, and the inner sanctum of the Jesuit order, etc. And then you come out, as you come out from the web, to that point in the web where you meet that point where the hidden meets the seen, the world that we see. And at that cusp, where the hidden meets the seen, that's where you find organizations like the Bilderberg Group, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Club of Rome, which was created in the 60s specifically to use the environment as an excuse to transform human society. That's what they're doing with this global warming hoax, changing society to solve a problem that they have invented that's not actually happening in the way they say it is. And then you move through these cusp organizations, and their job is, and there are many others too, is to take the plan, the orders, if you like, coming from the spider, the agenda for humanity, and take it out of the hidden and express it into the seen. So these organizations, like the Council on Foreign Relations in the United States, created by the Rockefeller family in 1921, the Bilderberg Group, created by the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers in, officially anyway, in 1954, and the Trilateral Commission, created by the Rockefellers and a guy called Zbigniew Brzezinski, who was Jimmy Carter's national security advisor, a major manipulator for this force. They have among their, quote, members or people they invite to their meetings, people from journalism, politics, the corporate world, the banking world, the military, etc. And their job is to, these organizations, is to take the agenda dictated ultimately by the spider and play it out into the mainstream of human society via these various representatives of politics and business and banking and media and military and so on, intelligence agencies. So then you come into the world of the seen, way out in the web from the spider. The world of governments and government agencies and banks and corporations and media outlets and internet giants like Facebook and Google and Twitter and so on. And people looking on, getting their information from the mainstream, think that the decisions that they see being implemented in changes in laws and changes in regulations and things that happen in the world are being made in the world of the seen by people they know of. But that's the illusion. They're being played out in the world of the seen, yes, as they have to be imposed on the people in the world of the seen. But they don't start out with the world of the seen, they start out with the spider. And because these secret societies and organizations in general, look at them, are structured as pyramids and levels of knowledge, where the people at the top of an organization will know what the organization's really doing, and the various levels of the organization involving other people, they will know less and less and less of what the organization's really doing the further you go down the pyramid. And if you look at a pyramid, the biggest part of a pyramid is at the bottom. So the vast majority of people in any organization, even any secret society, do not know the truth about the organization they're involved in. They only know what they're told. And so we're looking at one massive compartmentalized web structure in which the vast majority of people who are daily contributing to advancing this agenda of human control have no idea that that is what they are doing.